Hello, and welcome to Morning Meadowlark Wellness. I'm Cassandra Robertson, and today we are talking about staying active throughout your pregnancy. There are so many ways that you can stay active and safe through all trimesters. I am well into my third trimester with my third child, and these are some things that I do just to keep me moving and keeping away back pain, hip pain, and just that general feeling of lethargy. So one of the best things you can do is go for a walk. If you have a treadmill, you can absolutely do it at home, inside. It's also great to get some fresh air and some sunshine. If you're feeling like you can't even motivate yourself to do that, something as simple as sweeping the floor every day. It's not a huge deal. You feel like you've accomplished something and you get a few extra steps in. And instead of being tempted by those mom and tot spots when you go to the grocery store, you can park a little further away and get some extra steps in that way as well. Another thing that I do is stretching, and I really try to do this every day. So there's a few that I find help a lot with back pain and hip pain, those being cat and cow, as well as child's pose and a yogi squat as well can really help with the pelvis. So I will demonstrate those for you so you have an idea, and then I will come back and we'll talk about a few more exercises that you can do. Okay, so first off, I'm going to show you cat-cow. Very simple. Come to all fours, with your knees about hip width apart. You're gonna follow your breath. So in, you're gonna arch your back. Deep breath in. Out, you're gonna curl. Try to hold that baby tight in there so you're not just letting the belly drop. And then you can go up again. Deep breath in. And then we're gonna let another breath out. And you can do as many of these as you feel you need to. You can move the hips around as you go, and it really helps with this lower back pain, and it loosens the hips as well. Another one is child's pose. So you can do this right from cat-cow. We're gonna take our knees out about the width of our mat, or if you don't have a mat, that's okay. It's just gonna come out past your hips. Your toes are gonna touch, and you're gonna roll back and extend your hands all the way down. And you can either bring your forehead right down to the mat, or you can even bring a fist if you need to do this. But it's nice if you can get a good stretch all the way down. And really, any deep breathing that you can do is going to prepare you for labor anyways, and it's gonna help kind of get you through those painful moments. So anything you're doing while you're working out, make sure you've got those deep breaths in and out through the nose, and it'll be really good practice for you. Another stretch that I'm gonna show you here is a nice yogi squat. So this is gonna look different for everybody. You're gonna try to have your heels on the ground. If they're up, that's okay as well. If you need to sit on a cushion or something, you can do that too. And just kind of have a seat here. You might feel a little funny, but it's a really good position to get baby where baby needs to be, and it's gonna take that pressure off your pelvis as well. It's also important to keep our muscles strong throughout our pregnancy and into labor. And there are many things that we can do from the comfort of home with very little equipment and no weight whatsoever. Leslie Bogardus from Wags and Weights in Barrie is going to be joining us today to give us a tutorial on some full body exercises that we can do right from home. Thank you, Leslie.
Hi there, my name is Leslie Bogardis, and I'm the owner of my CrossFit / personal training business, Wags and Weights. I'm going to go through some exercises today that you can do during your pregnancy. The exercises that I'm going to go through are safe for all trimesters. So we're going to be going through basic body weight movements, and then I'm going to add a little bit of resistance in with a stability ball and some bands. These things are easy to find and very easy and safe and effective during your pregnancy. So the first thing we're going to go through is a basic squat. So when I squat, I want to make sure that my heels are underneath my hips. I'm going to turn from the side, and I'm going to sit down nice and low. If your hips are tight, your flexibility is going to be very different from someone whose hips are very flexible. So when I squat, I'm trying to break below parallel and I'm keeping my chest up. If your hips are tight, it's okay to just bend your knees a couple inches. And what I'm working on with my squat is to get back into my heels and keep my chest up. So what I don't want to do is tip forward, which is very common, especially when we're holding the weight in front with our belly. So we want to sit up nice and tall. Imagine you're sitting back into a chair, coming down, and then coming up to full extension. So I can add on to a squat. I can take a ball, which is going to engage my core muscles a ton more. So I can hold a ball. If you don't have a ball, you can hold any light-weighted object over your head. So I'm going to sit down into my chair, engage my core muscles, try to keep the ball right above my head, and then coming all the way up. So I'm also adding in some work for my arms by holding this ball on top of my head. So that's two different ways you can do a squat. If you have a dumbbell at home, you can hold a dumbbell, you can hold a kettlebell. If you have a bar, you can put a bar on your back. Next exercise we're going to go through is a lunge. This is the best thing for your glutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step back. My weight is in my front leg, and being mindful that my knee is on top of my ankle, I'm going to bend my back leg, stand straight up. Once again, if your hips are tight, when we bend this back leg, we may only go a couple inches. The goal is to get your knee right to the ground, come right back up, come back down, all the way down. Lunges, I can do a million ways. I can alternate and step back. I can step forward, push back, step the other foot forward. I can hold some dumbbells, or I can just walk around the house and go into a walking lunge. I can once again take my weighted object, engaging a ton more abdominals here by holding this ball over my head. I can lunge, come back, and step forward. Next exercise is going to be for the upper body. We're going to talk about a push-up. One of the best things you can do for the upper body. We are going to start on the knees. Your hands are going to be just underneath your shoulders. You're going to activate your scapula, so between your shoulder blades. Core is tight. I'm going to bend the elbows a couple inches, come back up. Bend the elbows. My goal is to get all the way down to the ground and then pushing back up. Once I feel good on my knees, I would progress and I would go on my toes, coming down, all the way back up. I like the modified. If it's hard on your knees and you have a yoga mat, you can take your yoga mat and you can roll it up. Put the yoga mat underneath the knees and then come down and then push back up. So that's the push-up position. So the next exercise I'm going to go through is a tricep dip. So with my triceps, back of my arms, this is a weak muscle. We never really use this muscle. So I love a couch. If you don't have a bench, a chair works perfect. So I'm going to come in front of my bench or my couch or my chair, slide my bum off the bench, bend the elbows, straighten the arms. Bend the elbows, straighten the arms. Everyone's range of motion is different. So if you want to bend a couple inches, that's okay. Or we can come all the way down, bend, and then straight. Tricep dips. Next movement we're going to go through is a wall sit. Very accessible, so any wall works. So I'm going to come down, try to be 90 degrees parallel with my legs, lean back up against the wall. I like to do timed wall sits. So sometimes I'll have my clock in front of me. I'll set it for my goal is 30 seconds, maybe take a minute off, come up, rest, try to go another 30 seconds. So I have an app on my phone, it's called Tabata, and it actually works as a timer. So it's 8 rounds, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. It's great to use. You can incorporate 20 seconds of a wall sit, rest 10, 20 seconds of a wall sit, rest 10. I can do 8 rounds. I could also do that with my push-ups, my squats, my lunges, my tricep dips. Next, we're gonna go through biceps, the muscle we have not talked about, which is in front of the arm. So I'm gonna use a resistance band. I'm gonna put 1 foot or 2 feet, depending on the band resistance that you have. This red one is a little tough, so I'm just gonna use 1 foot. I'm gonna roll my shoulders back. So I'm gonna curl and then release from the side. Watch how my elbows stay glued to my side. So we don't want the elbows flopping all around. We wanna glue them into the side, curl, straight down, and curl. I can also do this with my Tabata timer. 20 seconds, 10-second rest, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. If you don't want to download the app, you can just do everything we've talked about in 3 sets with 10 to 12 reps of each exercise. So I would start with my squats. I would do 3 sets of squats, 10 to 12, resting about 30 seconds in between every set. Then I would move on to my push-ups, 3 sets of 12, rest 30 seconds in between sets. Last exercise is for my shoulders, for my arms. So I'm gonna also have 1 foot underneath the band. So I can bring the band out to the side, or I can also bring the band in front. Just working different parts of the shoulder heads, side of the shoulder, front of the shoulder. Same thing, 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, resting 30 seconds in between. Core. So we're gonna do something today called a bird dog. So I'm gonna be in a tabletop position. So tabletop position, my hands are underneath my shoulders, my knees are underneath my hips. I'm gonna straighten my left leg all the way back, flex my foot, reach my right arm all the way out, and then come back and then switch. What I want to avoid doing is turning my hips. So I want to make sure my hips are square to the ground. And then if I want to make this exercise harder, once I get good here, I can bring the arm out to the side and then the leg out to the side, which really kicks on my abdominal stabilizer muscles. Arm out to the side, leg out to the side. And then we come back in. And then I can add on another variation, opposite arm, opposite leg, and then I can just slowly bring the knee and the elbow close together, reach all the way out, other side, leg comes out, arm comes out, bring it inside, and then release, and then we come back to the tabletop position. Okay, so I think we've worked every muscle. So we went through squats, lunges, push-ups, back of the arm, front of the arm, shoulder, wall sits, more legs, and then we finish off with core. And I think that's everything.
As always, we want to take precaution during pregnancy. So if some of these exercises are brand new to you, then you can consult a healthcare practitioner to make sure that these are safe and effective for you to do. If at any time you feel discomfort, you can slow down, back off, or stop the movements at any time. Some people might find that in their 3rd trimester, being down for a push-up can be a lot of pressure on the stomach the bigger baby gets. So to protect those abdominal muscles, you can always do your push-ups up against the wall. So you just stand right up against the wall and just do your push-ups that way, and then you don't have to worry about baby kind of pushing on your belly. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you found this helpful, and I just wish you a happy, healthy pregnancy and delivery. Take care.